If you don't already know, Pokemon Platinum is my favorite Pokemon game of all time. So when we got the teaser trailers of Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl in February 2021 on Pokemon Day, I was hyped, arguably even more than the release of Legends Arceus. Fast forward 9 months later and these games somehow become the most overhated games in less than a month. Well, to answer the question of why does everyone hate BDSP, you also have to try to view it from other people's perspective. I will admit, I really enjoyed BDSP. I even completed a Living Dex with the Black Star Trainer card. I completed everything these games had to offer and more. I even had some competitive Wi-Fi battles at some point. But these games, I will admit, were a huge disappointment, which is why many people have a distaste towards these games. The reason why BDSP were the way they were was due to a case of Ilka being given a reference point of the original Diamond and Pearl games and barely any mentions of Pokemon Platinum. The reason why people enjoy Sinnoh in the first place was because of Pokemon Platinum. The only thing they actually included from Pokemon Platinum were from the Pokemon in the Grand Underground that were in the Platinum Regional Dex. Not all of them, just some of them, plus some weird additions like Ursaring and Pinsir. Pokemon like Gligar and Rhydon have their evos locked until post-game. This isn't really that big of a deal since every remake has the issue of doing this, but they even threw the Dawn Stone because in the original Diamond and Pearl games, you can find a Dawn Stone in Mount Cornet, so Frostlass and Gallade users were lucky this time. Additionally, the amount of forced friendship in these games tarnished my experience by a bit. Frankly, I believe Ilka didn't know how to implement the modern friendship mechanics, and that's why they're extremely prevalent in these games. In my opinion, I don't think it was an EXP share that made our Pokemon overleveled, but the boost from friendship. Despite the overall criticisms these games received, these games were actually praised in Japan as they were nominated Game of the Year, proving that Game Freak can put little effort into a game and they still make it bank. Despite all these flaws, there were a lot of attributes of these games that I really liked. For example, the Grand Underground, and it reaching its peak with the addition of you being able to find all the starter Pokemon. The legendary Pokemon in the new Ramanas Park was also a nice touch. So were the recreated Shaman and Darkrai events. While you now can't obtain them anymore, you can actually still catch Arceus if you have completed save data of Pokemon Legends Arceus. What makes it better is that Arceus isn't shiny locked, and if you find one shiny, you have to have a pretty rare shiny in your hands. My absolute favorite thing about these games were the increased difficulty and notable NPCs. My balls dropped when I saw Flint abuse Baton Pass Unburdened Drifblim with Minimize, a moveset that is banned in even some Uber tiers and Smoke on competitive battling. What makes this even more hardcore is that the champion fight has perfect IVs and EVs, and the post-game gym leader fights have them as well. I'm an advocate of harder Pokemon games, but this was almost near perfection. Overall, these games were a mixed bag for me. This video might have been a little bit short, but what do I say that hasn't already been said? While I had fun, there were a lot of missed opportunities. I didn't expect all the Pokemon to come back, nor a Battle Frontier. At this point, with the Battle Tower absent in Scarlet and Violet, it gives me the impression that Game Freak just wants people who want to play Pokemon competitively on cartridge to just play against actual people on the ranked ladder. Overall, these games were near perfect recreations to imperfect games. The definitive way to play Diamond and Pearl, but Platinum is the definitive way to play Sinnoh. Or maybe Legends Arceus.